let's be honest, some of you don't have an overthinking problem, you have an emotional awareness problem. And my love, I'm not saying that to offend you. I'm saying that because I've also had to realize this about myself. Because when you don't understand your emotions, everything feels confusing. You react quickly, you replay things in your head, you feel drained for no clear reason. And then you sit and you ask yourself, why am I like this? The truth is, you cannot heal what you do not understand. And you cannot understand yourself until you slow down long enough to actually feel what is going on inside you. A lot of women are functioning, but they are not actually connected to themselves. And I've lived it too. Being the strong one, being dependable, holding everything together by a thread. But internally, I was overwhelmed. I was reactive. I was defensive. I was disconnected. So listen, if you're in your healing era, if you are doing the inner work, unlearning those patterns, setting those boundaries, then baby girl, this series is for you. This is becoming her. Based on my book, The Healing Heart Club, The Feminine Guide to Success. In episode 1, we spoke about identity. Episode 2, we chopped it up about understanding yourself. But episode 3, we will be talking about what actually changes your life. And that is emotional intelligence, ladies and gentlemen. Because awareness alone is not enough. You can know your patterns and still repeat them. Now, let's break this down all the way. Emotional intelligence is defined in psychology as the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and influence emotions, both your own and other people's. So it's not about being emotionless, it's about being emotionally skilled. And there are 2 key parts. The first is intrapersonal, which is in relation to yourself, recognizing your feelings, managing your reactions. The second is interpersonal, that is regarding other people. It's understanding other people's emotions and responding appropriately. And here's why this matters, because if you do not understand your emotions, you will be controlled by them. Now let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain. When you feel triggered, a part of your brain called amygdala activates. This is your threat detection. It's responsible for your fight, flight, or freeze response. So when something reminds you of past hurt, your brain reacts as if you're in danger, even if you're not. That is why you snap quickly, you overreact, or you shut down, because your brain's trying to protect you. Now, the part of your brain that helps you think logically is called the prefrontal cortex. When the amygdala is activated strongly, the logical part goes offline temporarily. So in that moment, you're not thinking clearly, you're reacting emotionally. And this is actually something that I saw even in my nursing background, because I am a nurse by trade, girlies. I'm a pediatric nurse. I was a practice nurse for 5 years also, so I worked with a lot of adults in the community. Stress responses don't just affect your emotions, they affect your body. Heart rate increases, muscle tense, cortisol rises. If it keeps happening repeatedly, it leads to anxiety, burnt out, or emotional exhaustion. So emotional intelligence isn't just about mindset. It's about regulating your nervous system. Now, let's go deeper. Why do you keep reacting the same way? It's because of emotional patterns. Your brain builds patterns based on past experiences. So if you experience rejection, criticism, instability, your brain learns, I need to protect myself. So now you might overthink to avoid mistakes. You might people please to avoid conflict. You might shut down to avoid vulnerability. These are not personality flaws, they are learned survival responses. So instead of asking what's wrong with me, we need to start asking, what did I learn that I need to unlearn? That is the question alone that will shift everything. Psychologists break emotional intelligence into 5 core elements. So let's actually break them down to understand them. Number 1 is self-awareness, as it always is. Knowing what you feel, when you feel it, and why. For example, I'm not angry, I feel disrespected. And that level of clarity matters. Number 2 is self-regulation. Managing emotional responses and not suppressing them. Not exploding, managing. So instead of reacting instantly, you pause. Number 3 is motivation. Being driven by purpose and not by emotions. So don't let temporary feelings control long-term decisions. Number 4 is empathy. Understanding others, but without losing yourself. This is where balance is key, because too much empathy without boundaries equals burnout. And number 5, it's social skills, believe it or not. How you communicate, set boundaries, and navigate relationships. This is what's going to affect your friendships, your work life, your relationship. Now, let's connect this to feminine energy. Feminine energy is intuitive, it is emotionally aware, receptive, nurturing, but without emotional intelligence, it turns into overthinking, overgiving, overwhelm. When you combine emotional intelligence with feminine energy, you become grounded, calm, emotionally strong, and self-assured. You don't lose your softness, you strengthen it. And for me, I will be honest, it wasn't instant. I had to practice it quite a lot. I'm still perfecting it. I still have to practice pausing before reacting, journaling my emotions, and understanding my triggers. And slowly, I'm changing. And I personally think for the better. I feel like I'm becoming calmer, clearer, and more in control. And that is why I wrote my book, because I wanted women to understand this in a real and practical way. So if you want to start becoming her, then start here. Pause before reacting. Name your emotion. Ask why. Journal daily and set one boundary this week. Small actions, big transformation. You're not too emotional. You've just never been taught how to understand yourself. And once you do, everything changes. If this resonates with you, then my book, The Healing Hearts Club, The Feminine Guide to Success, goes deeper into this. The link is in the description, girlies. And can I ask you, what emotion do you struggle with the most? Do you react or do you pause? Let's talk. And I'll see you in episode 4.